The Kremlin is in a panic. Its occupation regime in Chechnya is under threat. The elder Kadyrov has long been hanging by a thread from death. The health of Putin's chubby infantryman has especially deteriorated at the end of last year. He disappeared from the public eye for a long time and, to put it mildly, reappeared in a sorry state, disheveled and leaning on a cane. And then his beloved son, Adam Kadyrov, got into a terrible accident. It seems karma has taken firm hold of the Kremlin's henchmen.
The powerful regional dictator. The first car in the convoy was driven by the young 18-year-old secretary of the Chechen Security Council, Adam Kadyrov himself. Allegedly, he suddenly lost control of the vehicle and crashed violently into the roadside barrier. This unfortunate event triggered a high-speed chain reaction, and the following cars started crashing into each other in a rapid and chaotic succession.
By now, only the laziest haven't talked about Dondon's imminent demise. And perhaps he is still alive only because Moscow spends more money on his health than on the special military operation. The Kadyrov clan is very important to Putin. He has good reason to believe that if he loses control over Chechnya, he will lose control over the entire Caucasus.
I wouldn't completely dismiss the possibility. The specific theory that the accident could have been deliberately orchestrated. Because, as we can see, the struggle for power between different clans has intensified. You yourselves can witness and observe how even in the information space, these intense discussions have become significantly more heated. Kadyrov is also promoting versions involving his own candidate. This is also part of a certain struggle for the throne, because Kadyrov Sr. is not dead yet, and in fact, the struggle is already unfolding, since everyone understands perfectly well that he could be gone any day now, and the issues need to be resolved today.
Successors are already being actively selected to replace the ailing Ramzan. And one of them is his son, Adam Kadyrov, who is better known as a medal stand or a living room conqueror. Not long ago, inspired by the American operation in Venezuela, Adam Kadyrov said that he could easily kidnap Zelensky at any moment. He's just waiting for the order. Given the number of awards and government positions bestowed upon Kadyrov Jr., he is definitely being considered as a possible successor. But not so fast. All of the Kremlin's plans were ruined by Adam Kadyrov's love of running red lights. His motorcade of dozens of cars was involved in a terrible accident in the center of Grozny. Rumor has it that Adam was driving himself and was severely injured both physically and mentally.
I personally believe that the official Ministry of Emergency Situations aircraft, which very urgently transported young Adam Kadyrov directly to Moscow, appeared on the tracking screen in the flight radar application as having departed from Moscow to Dubai and then making its way back from Dubai back to Moscow. So, of course, we don't know for sure, but it's possible to assume that Adam Kadyrov may have already been transported to Dubai. And if they are actually taking these kinds of actions with him, it still strongly suggests that there are some very serious and significant problems there.
The level of panic among the authorities is impossible to put into words. After the accident, security forces blocked off half of Grozny, and the hospital where Kadyrov was taken was turned into an Alcatraz. No one could get in or out. According to eyewitnesses, in order to keep the incident secret, Kadyrov's security threatened the medical staff with reprisals against their families if they spoke out. Local and federal media were literally forbidden to mention the accident, even in passing. Even on Yandex.Max, the massive traffic jam that formed after Kadyrov's crash test wasn't marked at all.
A huge traffic jam, an ambulance. And every single person, everyone is patiently getting ready to let him through.
But when a convoy of cars crashes to pieces at 160 kilometers per hour in the city center, it's hard to cover that up. And yes, the very level of secrecy immediately made people wonder, how is Adam Kadyrov doing? Of course, the lousy propaganda launched an anti-crisis campaign, saying everything is just fine. Ramzan's son got off with a fright on a few scratches. But then, why all the commotion? Why was he urgently flown to Moscow on a special medical flight? Why didn't this TikTok enthusiast record a short video from his hospital room? Everything's fine, Don. I'm alive, Don. Instead, they showed a shameful canned video of yet another award ceremony for Kadyrov. But metadata revealed within seconds that the recording was made before the accident.
For contributions to the protection and security of the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant, he is awarded gold medal for merit. For improving the safety of nuclear plants, Volochovskaya Republic Assistant, Secretary of the Security Council, Kadyrov Adam Ramzanovich.
I believe that we can all concur wholeheartedly with this particular assessment. In reality, there is every reason to believe that the condition of the Crown Prince Don is extremely serious. They say his face is so disfigured that he's unrecognizable. There is even a theory that Adam has already gone for good. He didn't heed the old Ukrainian saying and rushed ahead of his elders straight into trouble. This was indirectly confirmed by a friend of the Kadyrov family, MMA fighter Chimaev. Right after the accident, he posted a black and white photograph, Adam Kadyrov.
Amid the rumors, he posted a black and white photo with Adam and a caption in the spirit of religious consolation.
As long as we believe, nothing bad will happen to us.
What are you hinting at? I'm asking you, what are you hinting at, you royal mug? Granted, he quickly deleted it, but the aftertaste remained. Moreover, Ramzan Kadyrov canceled the birthday celebration for his daughters. This means there is either mourning in the family or they are expecting to mourn. As they say, draw your own conclusions.
If things keep going like this, then I'll just take matters into my own hands.
The Chechen Hydra might lose two heads at once. The consequences of this accident could change the course of the entire region's history and possibly spark a liberation struggle in the Caucasus.
And the Kremlin is still afraid that during the transition from one model to another, this could trigger a serious conflict and once again blow up the Republic.
Besides the Kadyrovs' heredity, Karma has long been hunting other war criminals as well. Just the other day, a crazed Putinist and governor of the Kursk region, Alexander Hinstein, got into an accident. The car of the chubby racist skidded while turning in the Kanishkevo district and was thrown onto the roadside. Hinstein was taken to the hospital, but he survived.
I'm at the Kursk Regional Clinical Hospital after a car accident. Doctors have operated on me successfully. Unfortunately, it's worse than expected. A femur fracture, so I'll be here for a while.
Other regime lapdogs weren't so liking them. How can we not recall the propagandist clique made up of Simonyan and Kiasaya? These cannibals will go down in history as some of the most bloodthirsty propagandists ever. Honestly, even Goebbels didn't have the scale and resources that this pair of monsters has. Kiasayan was once a well-known director, but then he got bitten by Medvedev, or maybe Dugin, or both at the same time, and Kiasayan turned into a full-blown Nazi. My dear Kazakh brothers, what's with this ingratitude? Guys, did you really think that Russia's just gonna disappear somewhere, emigrate to Mars or to Ukraine? Take a good lot. Think about it seriously.
You always know how to be so shameless, Mother.
As they say, you can make as many good movies as you want, but release one episode of International Pilorama and everyone will remember you not as a director.
However, when one considers the prospect of existing indefinitely as a complete and total ghoul, wandering through the desolate wasteland with a decaying physical form and a mind that is slowly slipping away into madness, the reality of the situation becomes far more complex and unsettling than it might initially appear to the casual observer.
Yeah.
Father!
Well, did you see that? Of course, karma crept up unnoticed. First, Kiosayan fell into a coma and lay there like an eggplant for 9 months. And then he passed away. His wife and accomplice, Margarita Simonyan, didn't even have time to grieve before karma came for her, too. The conqueror of Ukraine in 2 days and fan of detonating nuclear bombs over Siberia admitted that she has cancer.
You probably know that my husband, Tigran Kiosayan, has been in a coma in the hospital for 9 months now. As we say here in Russia, when trouble comes, it opens the gates wide. The gates in our house simply don't close anymore. I think they've already been blown away by this wind of fate. Since we last saw each other on the previous broadcast, during this past week, I was diagnosed with a terrible, serious illness. I have surgery tomorrow, right here, just under this metal.
Right now, Margarita is undergoing a course of treatment, but there's a suspicion that it's not going very well, and karma is winning. All those aggressive warmongers and profiteers who made a significant fortune, calling for the total destruction of Ukrainians, have completely forgotten one simple and undeniable truth. Evil is a boomerang. It always comes back to the one who set it in motion. If you do evil, it will haunt you.
A profound thought.
I'm talking about karma. If you don't believe me, ask the Russian generals who are blowing up like firecrackers on New Year's. Since the start of the full-scale invasion, Russia has lost at least 19 generals killed. And if you try to count the colonels, your calculator will overheat. Moreover, these war criminals have been eliminated not only at the front, but also in the very heart of the Russian Reich. Among them, there are some especially big fish. The head of the NBC protection troops, Igor Kirillov, saw a scooter and was sent flying. Later, he was joined by the deputy chief of the main operational directorate of the General Staff, Yaroslav Moskalik, the deputy commander-in-chief of the Navy, Mikhail Gudkov, and the newest visitor to Kobzon's concert, the chief of the operational training directorate of the General Staff, Fanil Sarvarov.
The Investigative Committee of Russia is conducting an investigation following the death of one of the key officers of the General Staff. This morning, a car exploded in Moscow. Lieutenant General Fanil Sarvarov. He died at the scene from his injuries.
We might recall a lesser-known Shashera, but fate once again confirms the inevitability of punishment for crimes. The Tartar terrorist. That's it. We'll defeat everyone, kill everyone, rob everyone we need to. Everything will be just the way we like. The daughter of the ideologue of Russian Nazism, Dugin, who followed in the footsteps of her deranged father.
That things are bad. It's clear that we've lost, that some Cheburashkas have fallen out of life. The Soviet collapse brought decaying consciousness, petty bourgeois values, and infantilism. That's how it fell apart. Cheburashka and all.
And, of course, the meme of all peoples. He hated and cursed so intensely. He supported aggression against Ukraine because it wanted to become part of the West. But when he got sick, he was very upset that he wasn't allowed to go get treatment in that very same hated West. And
welcome to jail.
You can choose to believe in the concept of karma or not, but the undeniable reality remains unchanged. All war criminals will eventually be held accountable and punished for their actions. I want to remind you that this video is created for entertainment purposes and contains elements of satire and irony. All facts and events are presented in a hyperbolized or exaggerated form to convey a comedic or dramatic effect. We do not aim to mislead, but simply focus on humor. Kindly accept this gift with a beautiful smile.